Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Kahekwa, founder of the Pole Pole Foundation from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Well, I'm glad we can talk about the conservation of the nature. Uh, conservation, conserving the nature or the environment is very, very important and it's very benefiting to people because most of time, everywhere protected areas have been particularly in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and if in Africa and beyond, all over the world, protected areas have been always surrounded by different communities which rely on the human resources, the natural resources. Uh, there's communities in the DRC, especially in Kahekwa where I live, where I was born, raised up, living in the park and in the community. These people are very, very poor and they have only one word to say: empty stomachs have no ears. Why to protect the wildlife? Why to protect the nature while we are suffering, while we are starving? And I don't blame them. I can't be angry to them against them because myself can do the same. So the case I heard about that 30 years ago, I decided just to create the Pole Pole Foundation in order Pole Pole to play a role for the benefit of the conservation in the park and to benefit the development into the communities around. You know, from $10 to dates, I was able to create different activities through the Pole Pole Foundation. If I can start sitting, it can be from now to tomorrow. Um, but let me say the tree planting. I lived the case of arrestation of different people, men, women, old and young, arrested into the park for wood cutting down, trees cutting down for making charcoals, tree for building the house. I mean the poles and the timbers. Most of the time I approached these people. Uh, I saw how much they were, jailed and spent beyond 6 months in the jail, but they could not get money to pay as a fines due to the poverty. Pole Pole Foundation recruited them and taught them how to plant trees because the Coast Biega has no buffer zone. So this was an indirect zone into the community. The same communities in some area, in a small portion of the community fields, they plant those trees, and when the tree got maturity, they harvest these for the charcoals, poles, and timbers as well. Um, from 30 years ago, we've been able to plant over 4 million trees to date. We created the environmental education at school. We need to take care of the new generation, to take care of the threatened eastern lowland areas called Grauri. We created the school, the kindergarten, from kindergarten, primary, and secondary school as well. These play a role. Children are most educated. They go to school and get diplomas. Some of them can attend college, a kind of university here, but most of people have only state diploma. Um, anyway, to become ranger, they understand the welfare of the conservation uh, to produce the development. I mean, we created. I have seen somehow many visitors were coming from all over the world to see the gorillas, but no one of the community have seen the gorillas. While before the gorillas to belong to the world, they belong to the communities who are the first owners. We initiated the community tourism. The policy of Pole Pole Foundation is to recruit all people to take them straight to see the gorillas for their first time. And this is a great tool to educate the people. When we take them into the forest, we explain to them about the vegetation and the wildlife. when they see the gorillas, a jury members, they say, "What?" And we say, "Yes, this is done by the community." They say, "Oh," they apologize. They say, "No, no, 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 no. We must go to mobilize everyone to turn our face toward positively to the conservation of the gorillas." This is important, have been very, very important in everything. Um, we work with the gender. Today, Poly Foundation is working with many, many, many women, the majority of the women in tree planting, teaching, making soap, and different activities. Uh, if you can see, it's a big pity. It's a kind of international injustice. Let me say that it really to say, from my daily observation, I've seen the more people who destroy the nature, that's the case in a democratic republic, they are the more blessed. They live in a grace, you know. When they go to dig mining, the mine, the cassiterite, the coltan, the gold, the diamond, even in the remote area, they are the most blessed. Now, we, the people, we, the conservationists, who work day and night, year by year, defending to protect the environment, to protect the nature, we starve and our families. When we die, we leave widows and orphans. We die for a noble cause, but the noble cause never recognize us, including the communities around. We can, with the communities around the protected areas, we can blame them. We say, "Oh no, the poachers. Poachers is not a good name for them because they're starving." We blame them. But from this small example Poly Foundation has done, although without funds, it proves that the communities are not against the nature conservation. They are they would like to do so, but because of poverty. These people, they are the good sample to see how they acted in a tree planting, in the education, and many different activities. So it showed that everyone could. So it's a kind international injustice uh, to leave the conservationist stuff then benefiting the people who destroy the nature. So we think that in the coming time, Polypoly Foundation has um, the blueprint which will allow, which will attract many people locally to join, and maybe the nature conservation and the sustainable development can be seen in the coming 10 years time.